Okay, fish tank people, here we go. It's a little bit of an update. September the 14th. Get a whole view of the tank. Just got done doing a water change on this tank and the 10-gallon. Noticed I hadn't done an update in a while, so I figured I would. I always try. I'd like to get a whole view of the tank, but it's right in front or right behind my dining room table, so it's hard to get it without the freaking table in the view. Just showing you the 90, of course. It's pretty much the same. Pogo is going crazy all the way from the front corner all the way to the back. Ludwigia repens still not pulled out yet. Hygro Coffeefolia. These two great big Crinum calamitratums I'm going to be selling soon. I haven't decided on a price yet, but it's going to be happening soon. I can feel it. Get them out of the way. Get them out of my tank. I mean, out of my tank. They're probably, I don't know. It's hard to film this shit with a iPhone, but they're probably a good 6 inches or more out of the water whenever I pull them up to the top. As you can see, all of my Starge and Repens is going freaking crazy again. It's just growing and growing and growing, looking pretty good. Trim my Parawensis, which is still covered in green algae. Trimmed all my Bacopa down, and got some more Parawensis back there. Don't mind that bio bag right there. I added 6 more autos to this tank yesterday because mine have slowly been disappearing. I don't know if it's my water perimeters or if it's just because autos don't live very long. I don't know, but I trimmed all my Bacopa and I kept it over to the side here. Try to get me a nice big bunch. It'll all straighten out once it has a day of lights on it. If you can see back here, right there, right there, right here, and one little bitty stem over here. That is immersed growth Ludwigia cuba. So that's gonna be growing in once it gets adjusted. Not all these stems were as small as this one and the one on the left, but I trimmed the bottoms of the stems off where they had the weight on them and pulled a couple of leaves off, which I've got a really deep substrate here, so at least a 3-inch substrate, so I pulled enough leaves off to plant them all the way down to make sure they got all the nutrients from the substrate that they can get, and once they start growing, I'll trim them and replant them and get it going and find a spot for them. Depending on what they look like, it might take over this area where my Ludwigia repens is. You can see my freaking Java ferns going crazy. Like I was saying, I still got a little bit of algae. I mean, you can see where my repens is. The bottom of it's kind of covered, and my Anubias is covered, of course. And this Anubias over here has got some algae on it. A couple of my crypt leaves. I just don't know why my crypts. I need to shove a root tab up underneath them, since I know that's where that's going to be for a while. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Nothing really new. If we go over here to the 10-gallon, we got a couple changes on this. The first one, if you notice, is I took out all the black gravel. I pulled everything out of this tank, pulled out all the black gravel, threw it in the backyard, and put a bag of Eco in here. And a bag of Eco, let's see, I had a ruler over here, and now it's gone. But one bag of Eco in a 10-gallon is a good 2 inches right here. So plenty substrate for whatever I decide to grow in here. So far, nothing has died. I've got all my Ludwigia repens right here, my Anubias Nana Petite. I've got a whole bunch of Bacopa right here in the middle. I got 2 crypts over here, one Winty Red and one Florida Sunset. They're both growing slow, of course, because I don't dose anything on this tank right now. But they're growing, and they're actually trying to lay flat on the substrate, which is cool. Makes me think I've got plenty of light, but at the same time, I wasn't really wanting that to happen with these crypts. So, but back here in this back corner, more Pogo, which I thought was a higher light plant, but apparently it's doing fine in this tank. I got a little piece of Java Fern right here that actually come up while I was doing my water change, and then this right here is Hygrophila compact. And this right here is the bottom. Like, I trimmed my Rotala the other night in my 90-gallon and just took the bottom part with the roots and planted it in here, and then replanted the tops in my 90-gallon, and it's looking like shit, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but looks like shit, but it's got just a little bit of new growth out of the top, so I'm not gonna throw it out just yet. I mean, it's not hurting nothing. As you can see, it's not just the light here. The tips of my Ludwigia repens is looking kind of white, which I don't know. You can see on that one really good. I guess I may need to put some nutrients in here. I'm not real sure. I mean, I've got quite a bit of Ludwigia in there, which it'll straighten up once the lights are on for a good day. And then you can see back here, I got just a shit ton of bunch of little bitty stems of Bacopa, which is awesome. Then my Pogo, my Hygrophila compact, which is actually doing a lot better than I thought. I figured it'd be dying off because it loses leaves like crazy in the 90-gallon, but in this tank it's just chilling. I mean, it's growing. I've seen new leaves sprout, but it's just not going real crazy. Of course, my Java Fern. And this right here is some dwarf 4-leaf clover. I don't know the specific species because my fish store just sold it as dwarf 4-leaf clover, and they couldn't tell me what it was either. So I took it, and it was just in like two big clumps, like a Java Fern. It grows on the rhizome, really just a long ass rhizome that a couple stems pop out of every so often, and I just kind of tried to spread it out as much as possible and tore chunks off of it and planted a couple chunks over here, planted all this right in the middle, and there's my little parva. I actually took a couple pieces of the rhizome that didn't have any leaves growing off of it but had roots, and I just shoved it down in the substrate, so it may grow, it may not. But if I can get back a little bit, so the light makes it look all washed out and shit. It's just too. But there you can see my little beta. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look great. It's not the best 10-gallon that I've ever seen, but it's got plants and they're not dying. Hopefully this dwarf 4-leaf clover here will get to growing, and it'll do something. I'm not sure if this is immersed or if it's submerged, but if it's immersed, I'm sure it'll die off, and it'll start growing back to submerged. And if that's the case, then I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like and how low it grows, and how much it's going to spread. And I don't know. It's 10 minutes, so that's the 10-gallon. And that over there is the 90-gallon. Leave your comments, subscribe, like, dislike. Hell, I don't give a shit. Speak your mind. It's what I'm on here for. Who cares? I'm a big kid. Can't hurt my feelings about my tanks. If you don't like it, let me know. Alright, see y'all later.